we're talking about maybe a Duna mission, things like that, and we've got tons of science, and it was like, okay, there's some levels of tech that we want to unlock. And then it turns out, though, oh, to unlock the next level of tech, we need to upgrade our science center. And the problem is, we don't have enough money to upgrade our science center. So it's like, all right, well, I guess we did like a satellite mission at the end of the stream. Actually, we did a couple, and there's a couple more we could do to fundraise and things. But it's sort of all the same. And I lamented the fact, because some people said, oh, do some planes and things like that. I said, oh, planes are really cool in Kerbal. The problem is there's not much point to them. Join again tomorrow when Quill goes on a 20 grand spending spree. Yeah, just to renovate my entire basement. Perfect acoustic basement setup. Yeah, and a professional sound engineer to like try to figure out how the hell this whole mic setup stuff is supposed to work. Right? Exactly. Anyway, so I lamented that there's not much point in making planes because there's not much science to get on the surface, like of Kerbin. And the kind of stuff you need to make like space planes and stuff, it's not really, you do it because it's an interesting challenge, not because it's actually particularly useful. But then a viewer, Gwyned sent me a tweet about a mod called Planes with Purposes that just adds a bunch of contracts for space planes, or just irregular airplanes. And that's perfect, because then we can make planes, which is fun. I hope the sound engineer is called Mike. We can make planes that are fun, but still make money along the way. And absolutely, planes are the #1 killer of Kerbals. Bar none, it's not even close. Planes are absolute disasters waiting to happen. We're gonna kill a lot of Kerbals today, and it's gonna be great. No takesies backsies today. We're just gonna embrace the explosions and horrible gore. I mean, even this first contract says our flying machine must have a victim. I don't have far running. I have used it in the past. It's quite good, but I don't have it running right now. Mostly because I wasn't really planning to go heavy aeronautics. But anyway, we're going to accept this contract to build our first airplane. And we're going to check our science division here. Yeah, because we can unlock, I mean, these are just nose cones, turboshaft engine. I don't think we need these, actually. But we'll unlock that because technically we can unlock some more plane systems right now. It's not going to cost us much. Aerodynamics. We'll hold off on the supersonic flight. I might want advanced landing just because it'll give us some more landing gear options, which is kind of handy dandy. All right. This more? Oh, no, that's just heat management. I think we can probably go ahead and get started. Let's make ourselves a plane. And then we'll figure out who our first victim is going to be. Bum, 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 bum. Please install some parachutes just to be safe. So that's the thing you do. Really? Because in Kerbal in particular, landing the plane is very hard. The thing is, landing a plane is the hardest part of flying a plane in real life as well, and in flight simulators and things like that. And it's a little bit amplified in Kerbal, because Kerbal's not meant to be a flight simulator. So the plane controls are kind of rough. So you're taking something that's already the hardest thing to do and making it harder. Again, landing can be tricky. So the cheat in Kerbal is to simply put some parachutes on your planes, and when you want to land, you just make sure you go slow enough, and you deploy your parachutes. You just hit your spacebar to stage, your parachutes pop off, and you just land. I'm gonna try to avoid that. Yes, some planes. You're right. There's small planes that are meant for like personal pilots, right? People who are just flying for themselves. Some of those planes do have emergency parachutes. For things. Landing is not hard. Landing with reusability is hard. That's true. That's true. Okay, let's pull up. So our first contract here. Popping up. Chukka. All right. Flying machine must have a victim, wings, air-breathing engine only, so it can't have a rocket engine. And then we have to get airborne. So let's do. I mean, we can start with the Mark 1 cockpit, I suppose, if we want to start with a plane that looks kind of coolsy. I don't know. That seems fine. Air breathing can be a jet or prop plane. That's okay. Now, for our planes, all we need is liquid fuel for our engine. I wonder, is there a filter for that? Because there's fuel tanks. Liquid fuel tank. There we go. Mark 0 is quite tiny. Yeah, that's not what we want. Mark 1. I mean, that's a considerable amount of fuel, but it is okay. And I do quite like this little adapter you can put there to end up with kind of a sleek cockpit. And this is all full of liquid fuel. So normal rocket fuel is a mixture of liquid fuel and an oxygen, basically. Because in space, spoiler alert, there's no oxygen in space. So you need to bring the oxidizer to mix with the fuel. But here in the atmosphere, we can just pull oxygen out of the air. So your fuel will just work like that, and that's going to be okay. Contract says must have a victim. Is some sort of special plane term, or does it require ritual sacrifice? There's not going to be much ritual to our sacrifice. Anyway, so there's a filter for aero parts. That's quite handy. So all of them, including our props and stuff. Oh, that's quite cool. Blade of heat shields, winglings, control surfaces. Yeah, we'll want some of those. Air intakes. We don't have like an inline cockpit unlocked, do we? Hang on. Let me go back for a second. Oh, we do have an inline cockpit. I kind of want to use that. Because we can make our first plane like a little prop plane. So we'll go with something like this, actually, to start things off. It's interesting. So it doesn't actually have... I guess it makes sense that the aero parts don't actually have a cockpit in them. But, like, it kind of would have made a little sense. Aerosport engine. That looks nice. And yeah, none of these are the fuel. So we still have to go to the fuel tank category, liquid fuel. And then we can just go with, like, a real shorty. That's probably too short, though, right? But wouldn't it be really cute? Wouldn't this be adorable? I wonder if we can get this to fly. Only one way to find out. Let's go back to aero parts. Wings. Now, the aero surfaces, yeah, we'll just be adding them afterwards. So we just want... No, we don't even need anything quite that big. That might be our best pick for a wing right now, actually. Well, I suppose, actually... Oop, not you. I mean, we can just use straight wings like this. Look, a little World War II fighter plane. If you use a catapult, everything can fly. I think we will need to extend this a little bit. We'll be checking our center of lift in a little. But we really don't need very big planes. Or wings. We do need bigger than that. I might have procedural parts turned on. You know, I think I'll use this. And yeah, it does look like a paper airplane. I suspect we're going to have issues getting our center of lift and our center of weight somewhere we're happy. Let's try to throw on a little bit of a tail here. Winglet. Yeah, basic fin's the way to go. We need to turn this around. We'll throw in a little bit of that. We could have done a V-tail, but... Okay. Which one is which here? Okay. What you want is you want your center of lift, which is the blue line, to be behind your center of weight. You actually want your plane to want to nose down. There's no way this is going to work properly, but that's okay. We're going to sacrifice our first Kerbal, and it's going to be fine. Now, it will change a little bit when I add some wheels here. We want something kind of like that. But I guess we probably have to go back to our function category, ground. Steerable landing gear. Now, we could make this a tail dragger, because, you know, that's even harder to land than a regular plane. And that sounds exactly like what we... How come I can't attach a, I can't attach a wheel to the nose? That's a little odd. You're right, I do need a safety light. Oops, that is not centered. Oop, that is not what I want to grab. I want to grab this. Do I have clicking on? Yeah, I do have clicking. Or snapping. Hang on, let me turn these, these displays off for a second. What am I looking for? Oh, center of thrust. I think what I want to do is I just want to scrooch this up a tiny bit. Turn off snapping, perhaps? Because I want the rear to sit a little bit lower while we're on the ground. I don't think it has to be that low. Just wants a tiny little bit There you go. So that when we're level on the ground, the nose is going to be slightly up. This plane is not going to work, but we're going to find out for a second. Oh, yes, you're right. We need to check for fuel depletion, because eventually the fuel back here is going to drain, and then it's going to go back to... It's okay. It's going to be even nose heavier, which is sort of fine. I mean, at some point it might become a little awkward, but we'll do that. What we still need here are control surfaces, though, because we have nothing that will actually let us control this plane currently. So, if we sort this by size, there we go. Duct fan blades. Well, that's quite interesting. I think you do like the motor, the robot parts with stuff like this, right? There you go. What we really need are elevons. God, they're huge, aren't they? And that's sorted by size. I mean, I can procedurally shrink them. I suppose what we can do is we can use these winglets here as their control surfaces. Yeah, I have a tweak scale. What's the other way? Okay, I just want to bring it down and then bring it back up. About 78%. That might be fine. Turn off symmetry and park you over here. Okay, let's check the center of mass. Yeah, I can probably bring the center of lift forward a bit. And yeah, if we take this and empty the fuel, you can see it becomes more and more nose heavy, which might be a problem. We're gonna find out. What do we call our very first plane? Upsweep the wings for more stability. I mean, you're kind of not wrong. And by kind of not wrong, I mean you're pretty right. Whoops. I'm actually wondering, should I just tweak scale the wings down just a scooch? I right click on them. Hey, it's like a villainous mustache here. Or like the sort of planes you would see in like a cartoon. Like the Cars universe. Let me just do this. I'll turn off snapping. Ooh. Even with snapping turned off, I can't get... Alright, turn snapping on. Use the rotate tool with snapping off, and I should be able to just give it a tiny bit of upsweep. Just a little bit like that. Le petit plane, airplane to heaven, the bumblebee. I like le petit plane. This is like, wait, none of this is French. None of this is English. Le petit plane. I like it. Right now the wings clip into the propeller, which I actually don't think is an issue. But it does look pretty stupid. There we go. Alright. I'm gonna save this, and then I think I have to pop back out to the main menu to generate a new person. We're not gonna use one of our established experienced pilots for this. We're gonna find a new sacrificial Kerbal for it. So, as long as you're in Twitch chat, which most of you guys are, you can be drafted. So we're gonna hit this button. We're gonna spend 100 grand on a totally... Here's the thing. We might cheat in some money. It's so ludicrous how expensive these are, considering we're gonna be throwing these guys away. We might cheat in some money to replenish a constant stream of pilots, because it's gonna be hilarious if we get a bunch of you guys killed. Aeronator! Aeronator! I mean, you've got air right in your name. Aeronator. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Well, let's find out. Are these guys not alphabetical? No, of course. Why would they be alphabetical? No. Okay. I'm going to go to launch screen. We're going to test our controls here. There's a good chance we're going to need to, like, scale down our control surfaces and things like that. Like the amount that they get used as a multiplier. Cool. This Terex sent me a message. That's great. Okay. Okay, well, don't go away. I don't actually need you up. We don't need this. We don't need that. We don't need that. You see our delta V, 36,000 meters per second. Everything is crazy when you look at that. We're already rolling a little bit, which I guess makes sense. I mean, it's not like we have our parking brakes on, so, like, fair. Okay. Tail. Pitch. Roll. In reality, I think we'd turn off some of these things. Like, the roll is basically just these over here. Pitch is really just these over here. And yaw is really just that. Out of the box, it tries to use a lot of control surfaces, which could be fine, but at the same time could get us in maybe a little bit of trouble. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn off for the tail. We'll just use it for pitch. Really, there is some coordination, but I think it'll be a little bit easier for us because everything will feel a little less drastic if it's just one control surface at a time. And then, yeah, we might want to put in some authority limiter in here so that it's not quite of a strong effect. Oh, you're right. We forgot the safety light. Aeronator's gonna die. Oh, okay. Whoa. He's still alive. Okay. So we immediately went off the side. If I recall correctly, seeing something like that, he didn't die, so we'll revert. If he dies, he dies. If he doesn't die, we'll just revert, because otherwise I have to clean up all these parts and everything like that. It's really annoying. Oftentimes, that is maybe too much weight on the wheels. Like, when you start... Now, part of it, I think, is also going to be... It's possible that the propeller here is maybe giving us some torque. Like, torque roll, I guess, really. But a lot of times with these planes, if you do it and they kind of go crazy, often it's the gear hitting sort of a weight limit in Kerbal here. Upgrading the runway would be a pretty good idea for more stability as well, but I mean, the center of mass is right between all the wheels, which is great. The wheels do have a bit of a camber on them, but I don't think that matters. But I might straighten them. Oops. I might straighten them out anyway. And with counterspin torque, it may have been. I wonder if just turning on SAS might help with that. Yeah, we could double propeller to counter it, but I mean, come on. Safety light. Damn it! Is it possible I still have the brakes on? I don't think so. What I'll do is I'll just start with like 10% thrust and just see if we can roll down the runway okay. SAS on, 10% thrust. Alright. Good. And we're still... Oh, nope. It definitely... Okay. It is trying to stabilize us with the rudder here. It's definitely pulling the plane to the side. And almost certainly that's from the engine rotation. Now, I don't know how our plane is trimmed. In theory, it might just take off on its own once it reaches a certain speed. And we have no safety light, so we're probably doomed. Yeah, this torque steer. Alright, let's throttle up to 33% here. Oh, it definitely wants to drift. Oh, let's take off. Maybe. Alright, full throttle. Yeah, alright! Oh, you know what? I think our, We couldn't take off because we couldn't actually rock backwards onto our back wheels. I think our back wheels got to move forward a little bit, or we just have to have a slightly different passive angle. But now that we're up, woohoo! We have liftoff. Airnator is our first pilot. In our teensy little Le Petit Avion. I mean, sorry, Le Petit Plane. We're gonna get some Franglish up in here. All of our names should maybe be Franglish. There actually were some great French, like, pioneering, like, aviation pioneers. You know, everyone always talks about the Wright brothers, but there's some crazy-ass French people. EVA report? Uh-huh. I should do is open this up. Yeah, we can get a crew report. Although, yeah, we gotta get the science here. We can fly over a new biome. This actually feels great. Montgolfier, yeah. But there was this, like, wooden plane. It was great. Can EVA 3 seconds before impact. I mean, so this is a level 0 Kerbonaut over here. But because they're a pilot, they do start off with the ability to use a parachute. Other Kerbals need a level before they can get there. Now, we don't have a tremendous amount of lift here. And again, we might be a little nose heavy, especially as we burn through fuel. Although, you can see, like, our fuel is lasting forever and ever and ever. Let's see if we can land in the grasslands over here. Maybe get some new biome stuff. How high can this thing go? Probably not super high. For a few different reasons. One of it is just going to be raw thrust. I mean, the amount of lift this wing can generate for our body weight is going to be fine. Oh, there we go. New situation. But propellers don't work very well in the thin atmosphere. Propellers are massively more efficient than jet engines at low altitudes. But jet engines are much more efficient at high speeds and higher altitudes. And then you got turboprops, which are a really nice little in-between, sort of best of both worlds. Is this the new Top Gun? I had a friend go and see it, and they said it was really good. Like butter? Like butter? Let's, I don't have an engine button to turn off the engine. Because I think we can take a surface sample over here. Not that we need much science, but what the hell, right? Yeah, their axis is a little weird with this thing. All right, let's do a little Eva over here. Nice. Woohoo! Huge success. Not dead. Great stuff. Let me board the plane. Where's the board button? Grab. There it is. All right, recover vessel. Not dead yet. Oh, I wonder if we can do first-person view in the cockpit. That would be fun. Surface sample off the wing. Ground seems to be made of aluminum. Curious biome. Okay. Now, in theory, what I could have done is I could have stayed where I was. What do we got? Surface EVA ribbon. G-force of 4, probably on landing. It looked pretty buttery, but maybe not so buttery. But yeah, we can grab a new Tudor Aerospace. What do we got now? Fly an airplane to 2,500 meters. Okay, we'll accept that. And then barnstorm the island airfield hangars. Barnstorm hangar 1 and 2. Barnstorm just means to get it close, right? Oh, fly under. Bonus if you do them both. Sure, what could possibly go wrong? All right, we're gonna need a Mark II. Yeah, these contracts are from a mod. If you do exclamation mark, what game? I included a link to this particular mod. My mod file hasn't been updated for this one, but it's called Planes with Purpose, which is great. All right. We obviously need bigger, because bigger is better. So we're going to go with this at the front. I'm still going to do props, but we're going to do dual props. I don't know if you can get them to counterspin. Maybe you can, like, mirror symmetry them or something like that. I don't know. I want some, like, just generic fuselage. I don't know. I guess we could go right into fuel. I guess I could sort of go with what I was doing, before. Although it'd be nice to have a payload as well. I wonder if any of the wings in this have fuel. In Vanilla Kerbal, do any of the wings have fuel in them? Because actual airplanes often have fuel in the wings. Because, no, okay, it's just mod stuff. That's too bad. Because the wings kind of, like, the center of balance doesn't shift the same way. If all these tanks drain at the same speed, it's not going to upset our center of balance too much, though, so that should hopefully be okay. All right, winglings. Well, if we're going to be doing prop stuff, which I kind of think I still am, I don't think we're going to do swept wings. Swept wing lift is a little bit more awkward, but it's quite good when you're going supersonic. That's the thing. We're going to be doing a bigger plane. I think I can use the same wings as a base as last time. I think that's probably okay. I might use the delta winglets here. They're very big, but I think I'll scale them down still. There you go. Something kind of like that. And yeah, we'll have to do a V-tail at some point. And let's make sure to include a safety light this time, and I'll do it right away. So this morning I actually had a bit of a scare when I loaded up Kerbal this morning. So the normal thing I do on a Kerbal streaming day is first I open up CCAN to see if there's any updates. There were a couple little updates. I'm like, yeah, they're usually little bug fixes and stuff like that. Actually, there's one. The safety light comes from KSI Exploration Pack. Which is a little weird, but that's where it's from. And it did have an update, but the update was apparently just a version bump, at least according to like the GitHub page. It was just like 13 hours ago there was a version bump, and that was it. That was the only touched file as far as I can tell, I think. I applied to the update, and when I loaded the game, it told me there was no safety light anymore, and it deleted all of our crafts in space that had a safety light on them. It's a little fez is what it is. That's why safety lights are so cool. So that was bad. So I had to go into CCAN, tell it to like revert to an older version of the mod so I could get my safety lights back. And actually, it screwed up the exit save from doing that. Even though I actually killed Kerbal through like Task Manager, it actually still overrode the exit save. So when I went back in, I actually had to finish our final satellite mission from one of the quick saves that I did from like when we entered the sphere of influence of Minmus. So thank goodness for excessive quick saves. That's all I gotta say. Let's use maybe some chunkier landing gear. Now, where is the... First of all, let's check the center of mass, center of lift. All right, the lift is behind the mass, but maybe by more than it needs to. So I'm going to take this and move it up. Now, the problem now is that's sort of where we want the lift to be. The problem now is that the wheels are ahead of the center of mass, which is the yellow bit, so the plane's immediately going to, like, whack onto its butt. So that's no good. I could put some extra heavier stuff up there, or again, if there was maybe like some empty fuselage over here or something like that, that might shift some things. The other thing I could do is we could paste the wheels sort of here-ish. But yeah, we don't have engines yet either. That'll probably change some of the math. So we want the wheels to be just behind the center of mass, so we don't just immediately like tail strike on the runway like when we load in. I don't like how narrow this is. Okay, let's add our props. It's a good point. It's like, yeah, okay, fair enough. But what am I looking for here? I'm looking for aero parts. Electric propeller. Oh, that's quite cool. You know what I could do is I could have fuel tanks as part of the engine. Because these look quite good here. What we want to do... Yeah, hold on. That might look quite nice. Turn off snapping, so they properly sit below that. This might be a little low to the ground, though. How about... Same idea... with the Mark Zeros and a smaller propeller? Do you not have one? I guess we get these vintage propellers. Oh, that's really tiny. Wow. Really? Those are my only options? I mean, I guess I could tweak scale them. Tweak scale. Which I think in this case might be... Is it just... There you go. Now see? That looks like a proper kind of planey thing, doesn't it? Yeah, I like that. You know what I'll do as well? Is I'll take this adapter. Oops. Why aren't you letting me... Just let me snap it, and then I'll resize it. Game. Game. Wido. That's weird and annoying. Maybe... Okay, hold on. Maybe now that I just generally got it on this, if I... tweak scale this down twice. Now will you snap to this? There it goes. Doesn't that look good? Freaking hell, man. Looks pretty decent. Still don't like where our landing gear... I don't like how narrow the landing gear is. I mean, the safety light can only do so much. We gotta meet it halfway here. You think the wings look kind of small now? Is that possible? I mean, maybe. Tweak the wings up? That looks kind of nice. All right. What do we call this one? What do we call this plane? I am worried about a tail strike on liftoff. We'll have to be very careful about that. We could put a wheel in the back. Yeah, tail draggers tend to be a little bit more difficult to land and stuff. Demed? Less petit plane? Le 2CV! Could get rid of a fuel tank, but Coffin Mark 1. Oh, yeah, control surfaces. I guess that would probably be a good idea, right? Where's our Elevon 1?
It's whiskey and chocolate.
Less petit plane. Le petit place 2. Lawn dart? The props might be clipping the wings a little bit, but I don't think it matters. Le bad plan. The bad plane. The bad plan. Le bad plan. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. Aeronator? I mean, it's only a matter of time before Aeronator dies. Cunning plan. Hold on. The cunning plan. I like that. La cunning plan. Just make it more... Yeah. Alright, let's go with this one. Let's see what happens. So our goal here is to reach 2,500 meters. Which might be a challenge on the prop plane. But we'll see. Thing is, we've got 2 engines here, but they are like a lower size. So I don't know what our thrust is going to be, but we're going to find out right now. We got some whiskey and chocolate as well. Sometimes Gaming, thank you very much. Have you ever played Simple Planes and or Simple Rockets? I think I've dabbled. I don't remember. You want EVA, make sure the door isn't blocked. Yeah, that's true. I don't think we're going to do EVA stuff. But that is a good point. All right. All right, control surface test okay. We are going to have to upgrade this runway here, though, to have a smoother departure. Engines on. Great sounds. Throttle up 10%. Oh, God. No, we have so much less thrust than last time. So much less thrust than last time. I mean, it looks great. No. It's just revert displace hanger. Will Chiefs lift off sometime next week? I mean, just scale everything back up again. Or we could be very Kerbal-y and just say, obviously what we need is more boosters. Right? Obviously that's what we need. Ignore the fact that the propellers look like they're going to hit themselves. I don't think there's going to be self-clipping. I mean, we gotta try, right? What could possibly go wrong? Oh! Hang on. We gotta do some upgrades. More above the wings? Go for an even dozen. This guy's a shit 6-shooter. Let's upgrade the hangar for more parts, and we'll upgrade the runway as well. We're gonna need it for weight, and we're gonna need it for smoothness anyway. The cunning plan with Aeronator, and we got some whiskey and chocolate. 1 second here. Lunch. Whiskey and chocolate from... Hold on, my page is refreshing. No one hears what he appears. Hey, thank you very much. This is Kerbal. Put rocket engine on tail of plane. Problem solved. Well, these contracts specifically don't allow me to use a rocket engine. It's got to be an air-breathing engine, although it could be a jet engine. Okay. 10% throttle. Oh man, it's still gonna suck. I mean, our plane is heavier. Let's see if these even gets off the ground. I mean, we're going straight. That's a good sign. Again, the trick is going to be not tail striking here. I'm hoping it sort of just lifts off on its own without me having to pitch up. We might actually have to put the wheels slightly further forward, since I'm betting our center of weight's a little more forward as well. As speed is sufficient, we should definitely be able to take off. We will probably just run off the end of the runway, and then we'll be okay, because we'll actually be up in the air. Right here? There it is. Oh, no! Ditch, 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 ditch! No, 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 no! We're okay. No! We might just be lacking in control authority. Oh my god! I can't believe we didn't explode! I can't believe we didn't explode! That's amazing! Kerbal's first submarine. Oh my god, Airnator! How are you still alive? Alright. We're not going to scale down our engines anymore. It's possible that scaling down kind of marks something. Oh, I forgot this is all fuel back here. God, that was a heavy plane. Oh, right, I forgot, like, the only reason I did the extra fuel on there is because it would look cool. It's not actually useful. It would just look cool. So this one has twice as much thrust as the one we were using, first of all. So I could have tried that. This is not clip... You know, these are going to be really fussy about where they hook up, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Wait. Do we have jet engines? Like, is it just nose intakes and then we have engines somewhere else? Maybe we do. Hold on. Yeah, these are jet engines. I wonder what category they're in. I mean, we've got jet over here. Okay, first of all, this is prop engines, and for some reason there's an RCS fuel tank in this. So that's obviously not trustworthy. But we do have jet engines, which apparently also includes... Can we make a turboprop with this? This actually does act as an air intake. So we could make a turboprop? Is that true? Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just going to use these as, like, fuselage parts, even though that technically is available somewhere else. But I'm going to take all the weight out of that. And then I am going to use the Mark 0. Okay. Then... I guess I am still going to downsize this and use it as an air intake? Yeah, we'll have to do the mirroring as well, you're right. Grab this, hit X. This is actually going to make a turboprop plane? Scaling down works bad with engines. Yeah, well, it clearly worked bad with the props. The jet engine's not scaled down, though. So the only question is if we're getting enough air intake in here. I could just put a conventional air intake on this and just use it as just a straight-up jet engine. But I kind of like this. Right, we could clip it in, and that's true. Air intakes are upside down. You think so? Yeah. I mean, it looks bad. Although I guess then it'd be less likely to suck in some debris. Oh yeah, see, our center of mass is so far forward here. That's why we're also having trouble just, pitching up. Yeah, but it looks dumb. I guess the planes probably should be longer. God, it's so freaking nose heavy. There's even fuel in this back one. There we go. Put some there. And now all of a sudden, magically, it looks reasonable. Wheels just behind the center of mass. Well, you can't... Just moving the wings back too much will cause it to be way too forward floppy. I mean, maybe it can go further back than this, but we'll see. Although, again, once we drain fuel here, the center of mass will move forward anyway, so I don't want it to be too far back. All right, Aeronator, in the cockpit. What could possibly go wrong? Let's find out if these turboprops are... If it doesn't work, I'm going to go just straight to jet engines. Ignore propellers. But it would be really cool to see if we can hit 2,500 meters with this turboprop plane. All right, SAS on. Engines on. And these jet engines will become more efficient the faster we go, because the more air will be getting pushed in. So we're at the 15%, actually, yeah, 15% thrust, and we're definitely accelerating this time. Oh, Aeronator's so dead this time. I can feel it in my bones. All right, full throttle. Woohoo! Yeah, baby! Oh yeah, first person view. Oh shit! That's cool! I don't remember if there's trim in Kerbal. So I'm constantly having to apply a little bit of back pressure, which is kind of what we want by design. Yeah, why are we wobbling this way, you know? Alright. Let's see about executing a turn. Good. The fuel's fine. We only started with that much fuel, basically. We haven't burned that much. Most of our fuel tanks are empty. Oh, it is not the, it is not the most aerodynamically sound. These are pretty small stabilizers on the back. That's probably not helping things. It's okay, we're still accelerating, although we're not rising now. Yeah, it does not turn very well. Now we're going to make the push to 2,500 meters. All right. Oh my god, this wobble this way, man. Why is it so unstable? If I'm hands off... Wow. You look like it's just shifting. What are we doing? We're doing planes today. Oh, hold on. My hair's dry enough. I can put my hat back on now. Excellent. All right, we are still climbing. About 10 meters per... This is probably meters per second, right? Yeah, it feels like 10 meters per second. Speed is stable at 132 meters per second horizontal. Oh, dropping a little bit, that's okay. I can pitch up a little bit. It will burn off a little of our speed, increase our climb. At least, you know, as long as we don't start stalling out. Yeah, I think we're still getting a little bit of torque spin. The plane keeps sort of wanting to roll to the right with our props. I'm not even giving it any side-to-side motion. All I'm doing is tapping S a little for a little bit of extra lift. Well, I think we're going to hit 2,500 meters. Landing is going to be the big question mark. And yes, I think we have unlocked MechJeb's plane guidance, which would certainly make this a lot easier, of course. Did we? Aircraft, autopilot, aircraft approach and landing. You know, we will start making use of these, but as per usual, we want to prove that we can do everything manually before we give it to MechJeb. And then we're going to have to fight with MechJeb and, you know, learning how things are done. Okay. Accelerating our climb a little. We are losing, you know, we're burning off some airspeed, as you would expect when we're pitching up. But there you go. We are going to be completing, our climb. Oh, those are world mission. There we go. Fly the first plane. So once we cross 2,500 meters, which is happening now. Contract complete. Oh, yeah. All right. Now, we made a whole $8,000 from completing that. The question now is, are we going to lose a lot more than that by crashing this plane on landing? We shall see. So, throttling back and then pitching down to try to maintain a relatively constant speed. It would be great to land on the runway, but I'm kind of thinking of just trying to land on, like, any relatively flat piece of ground that we can see here. I'm not going to be picky. I don't think I'm going to barnstorm with this one. Yeah, runways are relatively flat, but they're also pretty slim to hit on a plane that's barely controllable. I am going to head back in that direction, though. The area around the runway is even flatter, which is good. Hey, there's a rock over there. We could probably bring that back for a sample. Blame it on the Valheim. This is going to increase drag dramatically. Alright. We're still descending, but very slowly. And we can kind of freeze this up over here. This might be a little big to barnstorm, that's true too. We're actually climbing in here, which isn't what I wanted. Actually, we're level. Well, not exactly, but and then it, well, I just give it one little tick of trying to roll to the right, and the whole plane is like, which might be because multiple control surfaces are in control. Oh no, look at the rudder. The SAS is having to apply like full rudder here to try to vaguely be straight. So yeah, we'll have to go with a slightly better thing over here. Can you switch the altimeter? Oh my god! When did they add that? When did they add the ability to have radar altimetry on this screen? What? What? Because I remember having to go inside the capsule to get a radar altimeter. 1.2, 1.3. Yeah, see, that's not that long ago. We've been playing for a long time. Alright. Okay, horizontal. I'm going to try to land over here. Try being the operative word. God, it's so unstable. I mean, 10 meters per second is basically 1 G. Flare. Flare. I mean... Good God! How is Aeronator still alive? That's not possible! Did anyone make any toast? I got all this butter everywhere. Aeronator's a born pilot. Spider, your thing got blocked, but yes, as you approach the ground, there will be some enunciators telling you to slow your descent, to retard your descent. There's some callouts that feel very inappropriate out of context. Well, all right. So our money's not going up; it's actually going down because we had to upgrade things over here. But it's all for good. Yeah, I promise you that. I'm sure it's still coming. So we still have the Barnstorm. Oh, what? I could have done this at the same time. But okay, let's accept this and fly to 5,000 meters and an airspeed of 100 meters per second. Well, we've got the airspeed too. Parachute from a plane. Well, let's accept that. I mean, I suppose we could land it with a probe. Or 2 pilots or something like that. Yeah, we're gonna do full jet engines now. I know, I didn't get the rock, that's okay. Bum, 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 bum. Well, this plane was just under 10K too. It's pretty cheap. Okay, I want to design a plane that could theoretically be useful for us. Thanks, I'm looking for payload. No, I'm not looking at the parts that I'm used to seeing. Oh. I mean, yeah, we had these, like, generic structural fuselages here, and just an empty tube, which we could simulate as having, like, place for passengers and things like that. That's a possibility. Oh, this service bay here. I mean, we could throw some of that in there. Do we have crew cabin stuff? Now, we have the inline cockpit we could throw in. I wonder if there's some parts I can unlock. Oh, there's a rotation option for counter-rotating props. That is good to know. The current cabin is only for 1. Oh, you think it's under utilities? Oh, thank you. There we go. So we're basically going to make a Learjet. Which, if we're going to do a Learjet, is the Learjet one where it has the jets by the rear tail? One of those. Might not be the Learjet, but it might be something else. Oh yeah, because I'm on the wrong mode here. Tail fin's quite large, right, compared to the winglet? They're both pretty big. Quilljet. Oops. So if we use the Weasleys, yeah, they're pretty large. Okay, well, what if... I mean, yes, we need an air intake, but we can put a little scoop somewhere. Remind me to reset what my what control strips is. Our control to what? You know what? I'm just gonna reset these because they've been rotated so many times. I'm worried that there's gonna be some weird stuff going on here. So obviously we don't want the wing coming out from the windows. I think we're going to want lower. We could go higher. There is actually some innate stability to be gotten from a high wing, which is one of the reasons that the a lot of like the beginner-friendly prop planes have high set wings. Maybe that, you know, maybe that'll even look better. Turn off snapping. That's kind of decent looking. I don't think we need a bigger vertical stabilizer. Do you think so? Maybe. We might need bigger wings. Right, the Harriers do have the high up wing as well. That's true. Alright. Yeah, part clipping. Always a good idea that never go backfires. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Alright, so... we do have this air intake category. Do we not have a scoop? Oh, there's the scoop. Radial air intake. Which... we can just put up here. I mean, it's pretty damn big. I'm betting we can scale this down and still be quite happy with the air intake. I'm hoping. I mean, there's probably some math we can look at. We could put the scoop under the plane, too. But, again, well, this might spoil some of the air here on a real design, although it keeps the dust out, which is nice. Top fin on top of the intake. Ooh. As I was saying, I think the intake's a funny part where it won't do that, but centerline? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so what I'm gonna have to do is, oops, put it close. Something like this should work, I think. We could have a pair of intakes. That would actually look kind of neat. Let's assume... let's hope this is okay. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, turn off pitch. And control, and then here we're going to turn off yaw and roll, and then we need elevons, and I don't want to put them too far out. The further out it is, the more you're going to get out of it, but really we don't need a tremendous amount of changes. In fact, a little bit of subtle stuff is probably better. Let's open up the center of mass and figure out where we're going to put our landing gear here. That seems okay. Oh yeah, the elevons, thank you. Control, just do roll. Now in practice there is some coordination between them on planes, but I find in Kerbal it really tends to do weird things. Only one engine. This is a full-size jet engine though. It should have a fair amount of oomph. Let's check the lift. Okay, so here's the thing. With the center of lift being ahead of the center of mass, what's going to happen is when we take off, the plane's going to want to do a backflip, unless we're holding down forward pressure. So I think what we want to do here is take these wings and just send them back just a tiny bit. There we are. Are we good? Well, those are angling. I think what I'd like to do with these wheels is bring them up a little. So the idea is hopefully we can have the plane just, while it's resting on the ground, be nosing up just the tiniest little bit. It's hard to read, but maybe that's okay. Alright, let's check what happens when the fuel load goes down. Yeah, and then it's just going to get a little nose heavier, but that's okay. The Cunning jet. Back wheel's level? Well, they're level with each other. They're not level with the front wheel, but the idea is hopefully the plane, while it's sitting down, is going to have its sort of nose up. Maybe they're a little too high. Whoa! That is so not what I was looking to do. Maybe that. Alright. Let's try it. Can they get out the back crew cabins to parachute? I don't think so. I don't think these passenger modules actually even have doors. So, alright, Aeronator has still somehow not died. Let's see what happens this time. I'm not going to let any passengers on this. Who's the parachute? Well, I wasn't really planning on doing the parachute one this time. All we have to do is add a probe to this, have it hold level flight, and whoa! Why do we bounce? The whole plane bounced. The wheels are behind the center of mass, but perhaps not quite enough. Yeah, but our wheels were behind the center of mass. But I think what happens is when the physics come in, the plane does sort of bounce around a bit, and it just sort of got a little bit there. If it had spawned in properly even, I think it would have been fine. I suppose it doesn't help because our wheels aren't the same height. It probably had to do a little bouncing, but there you go. So this is what I want. This slight sort of nose up So in theory, like, hopefully, if we just, you know, get started, it'll just run level. We'll find out. SAS turned on. Start the jet. Throttle up to, say, 10% here. I'm not going to be able to watch this as I go, but you guys might be able to, and we can see if there's a short of the air intake. Wow, 10% speed, we are accelerating quickly. All right, let's go to full throttle. Good sounds. Let's rotate at, I don't know, 100? 100 is when we do our gravity turn, so... Woohoo! Woohoo! Holy crap! Climbing and still accelerating rapidly. Beauteous. Yeah, V1 rotate. Well, it's V1 rotate, but it happens so fast together. Is my air intake choking out? It must be. That's the only possible explanation. Is it being occluded here and being choked off? Intake angle. Atmosphere flow is going down. Air per second. Effective airspeed. Woo! Look at that! Whoa! Holy crap! It, yeah, I'm gonna have to derate. Abandoned plane! How did we deploy the parachute? Woo! Woohoo! Oh, neat! I didn't realize it was so stareable. Oh, this is wonderful. Whee! Oh my gosh! This is so cool. I've actually never used these parachutes since they added them in like this. We're parasailing. Yeah, that was really close. There's still some intact debris as well. Oh my god! This is incredible! I didn't realize we'd have such an ability to fly this parachute. And sploosh. Okay, I know that this will cheat a couple of bucks, but just to save us from deleting all this debris, I'm just going to go in now. Oh, that's the wrong button. I guess I'm not going to revert after all. Womp womp. Now I gotta click some buttons. The Lushevak? Is that the person who like bailed out like at an air show? Like just barely above the ground? Alright, you are gonna get recovered. EVA, ribbons, dangerous EVA, G-Force 6. And the I could fly unit. Let's recover. 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 There we go. Okay. Center of mass before aerodynamic focus. You want the plane to have decent control. That's what we're doing. Unrecovered. The center of mass is ahead of our center of lift. I mean, we can double check here. Yep. Now, maybe I need to put it a little further forward. I was being as conservative as possible here because once this drains, it's going to send forward, but I could probably slide the wings further back. That's, first of all, for one, we're going to do that a little bit. Although the big problem was our air intake was flaring out here. Now, it might not help that I resized it, right? That might cause issues. It also might be something weird with the way that I was clipping these parts together. There could have been all sorts of things interfering with the airflow. I'm also going to go and I'm just going to bring down the authority limit. I think... Is this what I'm looking for? I think so. So that this is a little bit less drastic. I don't know, we'll bring it down to 10 degrees. But the big thing is, we weren't getting air, and so we just lost everything. So, let's see. The engine said 100% prop requirements when you passed 150 meters a second, so I think it's good where it is. No, we could put the air intake on the bottom. No, you're right. There's no actual dust thing. Failed the wait. What? Yeah, but can I not just do it again? Is it just gone? Did we partially complete some things? I'm slightly confused, actually. Okay, prop requirement met. Was it 100% the whole time? Oh, look at it drip down here. So we're definitely not getting full air intake right now. Which kind of makes sense, because we're trying to burn more fuel. We didn't have the speed. Now it's going to go up to 100 because there's more air being rammed into our intake, so we're now at 100%. But the big thing is if that drops below... I probably should have just waited for more natural takeoff here. Is it the fuel flow? Wait, hold on. The throttle itself is dropping. Hold on, what's... No, it's something throttling us down. Mother... MacJeb? That's what the problem was! Our design was fine! Oh my god, MacJeb! Why would it keep that? Like, the Ascent module sets some things globally that just work all the time? What the hell? Alright, we are... I don't know if we're ready to go supersonic here. God damn it. Yeah, because once I finally realized, hold on, it's not air intake, it's the throttle keeps going down. Oi! Oh shit, we're still going towards supersonic speeds here. Should we just go for it? Just break the sound barrier? Well, you know what we should do is complete any mission that we've got still. Oh, I gotta fly level here, hold on. Drop some speed. Because it wants the airspeed, and it makes sense that it wants us to be level. Honestly, it should allow me to do it while climbing. There you go. Because I don't think it wants it on descent. Now, I wonder... I'm just trying to be a little bit ginger here with my turn. And try to head back over towards land. We're still climbing. Not all the contracts failed. Some did, which is really annoying. I wonder if I can just retake them. I'm not used to seeing contracts fail. It's just like, well, you didn't achieve your goals, so we're not completing this contract. But Well, we were going at 300 meters a second a little bit ago, actually. I think we hit 310. Isn't 330 or something the speed of sound? Maybe we already went supersonic and I didn't know it. Alright, this is good. The thing, this plane's actually, like, much more stable, too. I mean, overall higher speed, swept wings and stuff, I think it's all kind of helping. Alright. Let's go to 5K. Oh, well, we're basically there already. Now, none of this requires that I land. Well, it says, and then land and stop, although it's already checked. Did we, like, weirdly complete part of this previously? It does depend on the altitude, or more accurately, the air pressure, but there you go. Another mission completed. Now, I don't think I can switch back to, like, mission control and take other contracts right now. I think there are mods that let you do that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to, like, land this plane so I can take more contracts. Oh yeah, this would very happily let me just pull a 180, which would destroy us, especially at these speeds. Yeah, 1G, 2G. Ah, we're fine. Aeronator's tough. We are descending very quickly here. Gears be popping. I wonder if we should test out MechJet at this point. Just, like, do some even flying, see what kind of stuff it can do with us. So let's give it vertical speed hold of 0. Engage autopilot. Or do I have to hit... There we go. Okay. Does it throttle us? I don't know if it auto throttles. I don't think so. I think it's going to continuously try to pitch up and then realize that it can't. It is holding vertical, but we're bleeding off speed, obviously. Oh, there's a speed hold. There we go. Well, hold on. I wonder... Speed hold is not necessarily the same as auto throttle, though. Oh, it is. It is auto throttle. Because on some planes, you do have your autopilot. You can have a... you can set a speed. That's... I think it's flight level change mode. You keep it on a speed. And if you throttle up, what it does is it pitches up the plane. So you'll be climbing, but you'll maintain the same airspeed. There you go, 200 meters per second. Is it going to start throttling it up? Well, I can't actually throttle. It's definitely taken over my throttle here. Do I have to hit set for it to actually take place? I thought set might have set it to what our current one is. That's weird. I didn't actually have to hit set for heading hold at any point. Now I do, because I changed it. Maybe I hit it and then made a change afterwards. I know it was at 0. I typed in a thing. But I guess that's it. I guess every time you make a change here, it doesn't take effect immediately until you hit set. Oh, it looks like the buttons it does. But if I just type in, let's say request 300, there we go. Now I have to hit set for that to actually take place. Why don't you hold an... How does it do the altitude hold? Is it like an actual plane? Yeah, it's not currently climbing. There we go. So what we do is we say, please climb at 50 meters per second, and then presumably when it hits 200, it will then lock there. That's how a plane typically does it. It will capture it. You get a nice alert when you're within 1,000 feet. Yeah. And it's definitely slowing its climb as it's approaching. Okay. Alright. Should we test the auto land? I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right? I wonder if it's fighting its own autopilot. Oh, yeah, okay. There's no disengage. Hold on. If I abort the auto land, there you go, there's no autopilot. If I click it and engage the autopilot, but it's probably ignoring these numbers. Okay. Well, Aeronator, your fate is now in the hands of an AI. Do you think it'll deploy the landing gear on its own? Now, I think in practice, what we wanted to do, we should have done, is done a basic lineup to the runway. Oh yeah, especially now, because its approach speed, it's staying quite low here. And we got some ways to go. Yeah, it'd be nice if there was a button to quickly set to the current heading, but... There you go. We'll set it to 234. If I hit set, is it going to override the autoland? No. Abort. Engage. Set. Keep a horizontal speed of 0. And a speed mode of 300 is probably fine. In fact, what we'll do is we'll go out a little further to see. I think that's the runway over there. You know what? This is just going to make me want to play Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't know if I want to do the... Well, maybe... Yeah, that's probably fine. You can wait to do it manually, especially if you've got thrust reversers. I don't know if this thing can do reverse thrust, though. It's got a button for it, so I guess so. We could land over here, too. Yeah, I could change these numbers, but I don't know, 80 is probably pretty good, actually. Plus another top-down VR is insane. Oh yeah, did they deploy, they released a jet plane, right? Jet fighter? So, the runway number is equal to the compass direction of the runway. We are going to be landing... What is this? South? So we are going to be landing facing west. So we do want runway 27. You got nav ball guidance is on. You would have thought it would put an indicator telling us to turn right about now, actually. So I'm a little surprised. Let's sort of vaguely face and drop our speed. Yeah, where's the, I know Autoland's not on, but I would have thought there'd still be a guidance. Like, I don't want it to land for me, but I want it to tell me what it thinks I should be doing. Why would we need a nav ball guidance if it's autopiloting the landing? You know what I mean? Maybe it only does it when we get closer, like simulating capturing a glide scope. That might be it. We might have to be close enough. So a typical glide scope capture happens about 10 nautical miles out. Something like that. So yeah, I think it's got to go a little bit to the right to line up again, because we overshot slightly. MechJeb doesn't guide, it only does. Cramax Autopilot will guide. Interesting, I don't think I've ever used Cramax Autopilot. Yeah, we definitely overshot. Well, that's okay. Hands off? I don't know. State, proceeding to initial approach point. Okay. Alright, Airnator. Could possibly go wrong. Don't want to save? No, if we die, we die. That's been our thing with the, this airplane testing. If we lose a pilot, we lose a pilot. State, intercepting the glide scope. Uh-huh. So, you can imagine the glide scope being a invisible sort of line coming out, aligned with the runway, and coming out of the ground at a 2.5 degree angle. And we're trying to run into that. And in real life, it's actual radio waves and stuff like that. Your plane, you'll actually, like, know when you hit it. And if you're close enough as well, it'll tell you if you're just above, just below, to the left, to the right of the sort of tunnel that you want to follow with your plane for the entry. So it's trying to encounter that. It's doing it at about a 45 degree angle, which is good. It feels like we're way too close. But, I mean, I guess there's some distance compression. I don't know. I guess we are still fairly far away. So I guess that's... Well, no. Nautical miles. Which is... A nautical mile is bigger than a regular mile, right? Which, of course, is much bigger than a kilometer. We're definitely within 10 nautical miles at this point. But we did come at a pretty crooked angle here. 1.6 kilometers-ish. 1,800-ish. Excellent. Have we turned on the fasten seatbelt sign? Bing! A knot is 1.2 land miles. Okay, there you go. Alright, so, I mean, we're descending at 10 meters per second. Yeah. Target velocity, 80. Yep. Target altitude, 528 meters. Target heading, there we go. We're turning. I still don't see the glide scope on our nav ball, which does make me quite sad. So the question is still, is it going to auto-deploy landing gear for me? And I think the answer is going to be no. So I'm going to deploy it now so it can adjust for the additional drag. Oh. Holy shit, you're probably right. Well, I'm not used to this jet type of design. We do have two indicators here. We've got these bars as well. I guess these bars must be, and then we've got the little diamond here. Oh, diamond here, diamond here. So yeah, there you go. There's our glide scope capture. I'm not used to the jet, the fighter jet sort of heads-up display, but there we are. How functional is this? Oh. So fucking cool. I don't want to, like, accidentally click anything and have the plane crash. Yeah, I don't think there's a glide scope here, but certainly nothing visible. Oh, is it trying to go for touchdown speed now? Well, it's proceeding to touchdown point. Feels to me like we're a little low, but maybe we're fine. Just click all the red buttons. That'll be for our next flight. I guess I do have the mod, actually, now that I think about it, that makes these displays more functional. Yeah. I haven't really used it for the planes. Oh shit, yeah, we got all these too. Data. Oh. Crew. There you go. Look at this. We do have to do more flights from entirely within the capsule. A full, like, moon landing from inside the capsule would be excellent. I've never used the MechJeb Autoland. This is crazy. I did see the Boeing mission where they brought Kerbal with them. And, like a Rosie the River or mannequin, right? Or something like that. I mean... I was gonna say, it looked to me like we were gonna run a little short here. And you hear the little boost of thrust coming in. Now, maybe it's gonna be a little far. I don't know. This auto landing's working. I mean, that was probably the touchdown zone over there. Hopefully we got some good brakes and good reversers. And still, like, hands-free over here. Now that's just showing off. I mean, that was just showing off. Probably for that, what we could have done is brought down the braking force on the wheels over here. Actually, especially on the front one. Wow. Or maybe a little heavy on the thrust reversers? That's possible too. Like, basically just decide to stop on a dime. Alright, MechJeb auto landing. I gotta give you credit. That was pretty impressive. That was pretty impressive. I don't know what the G was. I need like one of the mods from my flight simulator that tells you exactly how hard the landing was, right? How many meters per second, what your horizontal speed was, what your vertical speed was, what the G-force was, and then give you like a ranking. And a taxi to the hangar here. Yeah, rip tires. Well, if a lot of it came from the thrust reverser, then I guess maybe the tires were fine. Well, maybe not with the sideways skid so much. Unfortunately, the hangar doors don't actually open. It's scary to engage the reversers in the air after the bounce. That's what I thought there. I mean, the thing is, if you take a commercial flight, a lot of the descent will actually be done mostly automatically. It's only in the last little bit where the pilots tend to take manual control, and even then, that's mostly just to keep themselves sharp. Because especially on the big commercial jets, and assuming you're landing at any like reasonable, like international airport kind of thing, they all have auto landing and stuff like that. And if the weather's bad, you use the auto lander for it. It's in good weather that the humans do it for practice. In bad weather, like, no, fuck this, we're gonna trust the computers. There you go. Well, that was pretty good. Autopilot showing off. Thanks for the clip. So here's what we're gonna do. Because we're basically at the end of the stream here. We don't have time for another proper mission flight. So what we're gonna do, and this is gonna be the exception to allow like reversions, we're gonna do one more flight just to see how high and fast this thing can get. And then, I'm gonna do a proper save here. This is our real save. So we don't care what happens to this one. We're not even gonna finish the flight. But let's see what this baby can really do. Oh yeah, we can check to see if we can re-accept the failed missions. I can't... Oh, was it the wrong plane? Damn it. Yeah, I can't believe we didn't kill anyone. Yeah, that's the wrong plane. That's the prop one that didn't really work. Brother-in-law flies bush planes in Botswana. He always says auto landing and autopilot and commercial planes made pilots so lazy. Yeah, but the thing is, like, what the piloting in like a 1 or 2 prop plane and piloting a commercial airliner are like almost not the same thing at all. Like, the big airliners, piloting is like interacting with computers and understanding how to work them. Alright, so the Cunning jet with Airnator. Alright, let's see. Problem is, the longer the pilot survives, the more attached you get. I'm sure we'll kill him next week. Okay, Wednesday, do you guys want to do one more session, or at least, of Galciv 4? Or do we want to do something different? I don't know what Wednesday would otherwise be. So we're just going to go full throttle right away. And some people ask, well, what happens if why not go full throttle right away? Generally speaking, you do a minor throttle, let the plane sort of get stabilized, and everything's comfortable. And when you get the forward momentum, you're like, okay, let's go to full throttle at that point. So that's why I was usually, you know, but now I don't really care what happens here, because this mission's not going to count. All right. Yeah, speed's still climbing. Not very quickly, but that's okay. And yeah, what we're going to do, let me pin these up again here. Air intake. Engine. So the air intake is actually dropping a little, which is interesting, because the air is thinning out. But we're still meeting the requirements 100%, so that's fine. And we're still increasing our speed.
It's whiskey and chocolate.
Okay, now the speed isn't increasing as quickly. We're still... This is still going down, but not much. Hey, no one, thank you! U4, Hoi 4, Ukraine against Muscovy. Maybe a little too much. We are no longer really accelerating. So what we're going to do is we're just going to level out a little. This will allow us to continue to accelerate. So the plane is a lot like a rocket. You want to climb as quickly as possible to get out of the thicker air. But with the jet engine in particular, the faster you go, the more efficient the jet engine is. You can see our thrust is dropping over here. If we level out, and if we can let our speed increase, and this is actually the thing with like a single-stage orbit plane. You tend to take off, level out, gain speed. Wow, can't believe I basically killed our climb. That's like level. That was amazing. And then we're going up again. Gain speed while flying horizontally, and then break through the Mach barrier, and then start to climb again. We might not be able to go supersonic with this engine. I strongly suspect that's the case, and some people had said, like, because these engines in Kerbal have some like kind of hard-coded altitude and speed limits. Yeah, let's go ahead and implement vertical hold on our autopilot. So we'll fly perfectly level. You can see the curvature of Kerbin. What? It's not flat! This game isn't programmed correctly. Yeah, thrust is staying stable here. Which might have just lost a tick. We are creeping up in speed, though. Expected airspeed is increasing. See, the airflow is increasing. Although we're already at 100%, so that's not actually going to matter. Alright, we're getting some turbulence here. Although, that could be the PID controller. When you see wobble like this, it's the autopilot trying to maintain somewhere. And you can tweak the values. The P, the I, the D. And that will eliminate some of the wobble. So you're sort of trading off like faster response with a smoother thing. And these, there's no universal answer to these. It's really going to depend on your individual plane design. Oh, we might be hitting a bit of a limit here. Is this the sound barrier limit we're kind of hitting? Feels like we might be, oh no, we're creeping up a little bit more. What we might try to do is we could climb to 10,000 and see what we can do with our speed. 3.343 is Mach speed at what? At sea level? So since we're not at sea level, I assume the Mach speed is a little higher. Right? I think we're right at the sound barrier right now. 343, 20 degrees Celsius, 0% humidity. Okay, let's try to climb to 10,000 feet. So we're gonna set the altitude hold, and we're gonna ask for a climb. Let's try 50 meters per second right now. That might be a little aggressive, but let's see what happens. We might bleed off too much speed. No, we seem to be okay. Actually, speed is... Oh, and it is dropping a little again. Let me go 25 meters per second climb. Let's see what this baby can do. Thinner the air, higher sound barrier should be. That's what I think, right? Like, if you're in thinner air, the sound... You have to go quite a bit faster to break the sound barrier, I think. Or is it the other way around? Well, the problem is there's... This is our surface speed, not our air speed. So I think by airspeed, the number might go down. But by surface speed, it goes up. I don't know. And that's true. You can nosedive to break the sound barrier and then pull back up and then stay above Mach 1. There's some weird shenanigans you can do. Yeah, I don't think this engine's going to do it. We're going to need the next tier of jet engines. Wonder what speed the wings fall off? Well, if I went and did like a full like pitch up or pitch down, we'd probably rip them off immediately. So the air intake's definitely not a problem. In fact, air intakes are really bad for drag. I think the one air intake actually was fine, and we probably would have less drag by dropping one of these. MechJev might have different telemetry for atmospheric data. That's interesting. Because, I mean, there's surface info, but that's not helping. Atmosphere info? Oh, there we go. We're at Mach 0.96. So we're just under Mach 1. But we're not punching through. Let's dive. We are leveling off. Leveling off, our speed's not increasing anymore. But what happens if we dive? Minus? Oh. How come I can't put in a negative number here? Oh. Interesting. I guess the autopilot does not want to support a dive, which... Baron, I'm like, you can autopilot normally a negative VS to, you know, have a steady descent at a particular speed. Alright, let's just disengage the autopilot. Dive, dive, dive. Now, we are going to hit a lot of turbulence if we try to break through this sound barrier. There you go, Mach 1. There we go. And you can see the our thrust on our engine going up. The question being, can we maintain Mach speed and gain more now that we've broken through? No, it looks like no. Still, we've gone supersonic with this plane, just barely. At 10K altitude on Earth, Mach 1 is 299. I don't know. So Kerbal is smaller than Earth. I don't know how the atmosphere, atmospheric pressure compares to Earth. All right, let's just see how fast we can go and what happens. All right, 400 meters per second. Mach 1.2. I mean, we're going to run out of space here. We haven't ripped off any wings. I guess sea level's the same. Now, if I do this... Oh my god, how is it not ripping the wings off? That's a sturdy plane. All right, let's just try to really break it here. There we are. All right, have fun, Aeronator. Actually, we're not going into a stall or a spin right now. Let's try to ditch into the water and see if we can survive. Built a Raptor from BSG. Yeah. All right. Nice and quiet. Oh, look, we've made a glider. I don't think you see a lot of gliders with swept wings, though. Just love the rush of the sound of the air coming by. This plane is actually to complete contracts. Although, right now, we're doing this flight just for fun, because the stream is over. This was just a throwaway flight that we're going to revert. This was just us having fun. But we did do a pretty decent flight before this. Okay. Just try to hold just a few meters above. Bleed off speed, but not too quickly. You don't want to climb and then sort of stall and fall down. Speed is very slowly. My God, the glide ratio on this plane is insane. No, we don't put the gear down if we're landing on water. Who are you, Archer? Actually, in Kerbal, it might not matter. 4 meters, 3, 2. Holy shit! This is the most sturdy plane ever designed. Now take off again. I have a feeling that the engine might be flooded. Wait. Now, you know what? Now I need to make a jet-powered boat. I can't seem to be able to dive. I also can't seem to actually be able to gain speed. Well, hold on. Hold on. Now, every time we sort of splash down, we lose too much. I'm trying to, like, pitch into the water or something. No, I really can't dive. We could make an equinoplane, which is a plane that flies like 3 meters above the water using ground-effective wings and surface jet to push it forward. Wow. I wonder what, like, our takeoff velocity is. Like, if we got up to, like, 15 meters per second or something, could we just get out of the water long enough for the jets to, like, kick in? This is crazy! I'm just trying to dive. Dive! You know, if I put a big reaction wheel on this, I wonder if I could dive then. Alright, well, we're going to wrap it up here. We're going to raise Kiss for Luck's channel. We're going to see you guys on Wednesday for something. Fix the porpoising. What is this, an F1 car? Next challenge, a plane takeoff from the water. I wonder, you must be able to make, like, planes with pontoons or something now, I think. Well, by now. I mean, I don't know, since Kerbal 1.1 or something. It's all still new to me, you know? The fact that there's a moon is still kind of new to me. When I first played Kerbal Space Program, there was no moon. Put that in your bag and eat it. What? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to rate a Kiss for Luck. We're going to see you guys on Wednesday for something. I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone. Sorry about the microphone issues early on. I'll see if I can get it working, or I'll switch to something else. We'll see.